So here we are. So yesterday, what we did was we saw one program. Okay, I'm going to write down the question right now. Write a program to input, okay, length and breadth of a rectangle and display its area. But this time we will be doing using function procedure. Now we have done this program using sub procedure. Now what we are doing is we are converting the same program using function procedure, because in our exam a question is asked and they might ask us to do in sub procedure or they might ask us to do in function procedure. Okay, it is either of the two. So this time we'll be doing with function procedure. And as usual, if whether it is sub procedure or whether it is function procedure, we have to declare. So we write declare, then we write down function, because this is all about function now. Function, and we give the name of the function. Now since it is area program, we write down area. Now here we write down inside the bracket, whatever we write down, those are called variables, and variables are also known as parameters or formal parameters. And for parameters, what we do is we see the input, and if we look at the input, we have to take length and breadth as an input. So for length and breadth, we need two variables, and both the variables are of numeric values. Okay, both are numeric values, and to store numeric values we use numeric variables, and numeric variables are without dollar sign. I hope I'm clear so far. Okay, so we are 75 of us, so please remain till the end of the class. Okay everybody, because at the end I'll send you a link, those of you who just joined in, and you need to fill up that form, and that is going to be your attendance. Okay, so now it's time to take input, because I've already written CLS input, enter length, and for length L, and now I need breadth. So let me just copy and paste. Okay, so breadth, B-R-E-A-D-T-H, and for breadth I'll be using variable B. So length will be stored in L, whereas breadth will be stored in B. Now what we need to do is we need to call the function procedure. Now be careful over here. If it was sub procedure, we did like this: call area L comma B. This is what we wrote for sub procedure, but this is not sub procedure, this is function procedure. And for function procedure what we do is we write down print keyword. This is the keyword that we'll be using for function procedure. Instead of call, we write print. That's it. That is the difference. Okay, now there are few other extra things that comes with function, that is dollar sign. Now that dollar sign, I haven't talked anything about this dollar sign so far. Yesterday we didn't talk anything about that dollar sign, but in today's class we will see that dollar sign as well. We, at what conditions we keep dollar sign. So let's forget about that dollar sign, because that is not required over here, and I'll explain why it is not required in a while. Okay, so after we call, then we write end. So this is our main module. Basically this is what we did with sub procedure as well. We started with declare and we ended with end keyword. We started with declare, then we wrote CLS to clear the output screen, then whatever input was required, we took the input from the user using input keyword, then we called the procedure. Now if it was sub procedure, we used to write call. Since this is function procedure, we write print. And after calling a procedure, we always end our main module with end keyword. Okay, that's all we did so far. We have done this much. Now what we need to do is we need to write down the definition of the function procedure. And in order to write definition, we start with function, then we write area, then we write length and breadth. Okay, so function area L comma B. Here L comma B again is a parameter. Now what we need to do is we need to simply write down the formula. So formula is A equals to length into breadth. Now L into B is the values of length and breadth, whereas A is the variable to store the area of a rectangle. So after we have done this much, okay, one more time, let's go back to the sub procedure. If it was in sub procedure, then what we did was we wrote print and we wrote the area of a rectangle is A. This is what we wrote over here. But this is function procedure. And in function procedure, remember, we have to return a value. Okay. Return a value means we have to return our answer. You can remember in this way also. And our answer is stored in this variable A. Here you can see our answer is in A because our area is in A. So this A has to be returned. Whatever is our answer, we always return our answer. And in order to return our answer, what we do is we first write down the name of the function. And the name of the function, we can clearly see over here, it is area. So what we do, we write down the name of the function, which is area, and the value that has to be returned is written at the rightmost side. So our cursor is clicking at the rightmost side so far. Okay, let me use my mouse. Okay, this is our cursor, it is rightmost side, and here we write down the value, and our value is A. So we write down A. So this returns our value. So what happens after this? That is the thing that we have to understand. Okay, so let me quickly save this program and I'll just explain how it works. Okay, so well, it is the same program at the both side. In one side, what I have is at one side I have the main module and the other side I have the definition. So it will be easier if we navigate in this way. So our program always starts from declare. So declare basically will create a function and the name of the function is area. As you can see over here, it has been already created. Then it is CLS. It will clear the output screen. There is nothing difficulty in this one. Now the two statements that we have after CLS is input. Now this is basically to input length and breadth. Length will be stored in L, breadth will be stored in B, simple. And here we are calling the function. Yeah, in this particular part, there will be few changes, okay? Because there is no message over here. Now, those of you who joined in yesterday, you must have already understood that what is the remaining part. The message is remaining, which I'll write at the end. So print is the keyword used to call function procedure. Here we are using print, and in order to call, we write down the name of the function, then the arguments. Here L and B are the arguments or the values. And end, main module, end of the main module. So after here, after this print, okay, now after taking input, our focus will be in this particular statement, print. As soon as this statement is executed, our control will go to the definition of our function. That is, print area means it has called area. So where is our area? Its definition part is over here. So our control will go in this particular highlighted portion. So from here, what will happen is, suppose user types 2, 3, okay, 2 for length and 3 for breadth. Then 2 and 3 is passed from here, and 2 and 3 will be stored in this L and B. So L holds 2, B holds 3. So A is equals to 2 into 3. 2 into 3 means 2 3s are 6. So value of A is 6. I hope you are following right now. From here, the values has been passed. Those values will be stored in these variables. If it is 2, 3, 2 and 3 will be stored in L and B respectively. Then this formula will execute. That is 2 3s are 6. 6 will be stored in A. And here the value is returned. That is A is returned and the value of A is 6. So 6 is returned from here. Okay, now just hold on. Once the value is returned, where will the value go? That is very much important. Okay, that's what we have to understand. Once the value will go to the place from where it has been called. जहाँबाट कल गरेको थियो त्यहाँ गएर चाहिँ त्यो भ्यालु रिटर्न हुन्छ. जस्तै यहाँ प्रिन्टले कल गरेको थियो, यहाँबाट रिटर्न भयो. अब यहाँबाट रिटर्न भएपछि ए लाई रिटर्न गर्यो. हाम्रो एक्जाम्पल अनुसार आन्सर 6 थियो. 6 यहाँबाट रिटर्न भयो. रिटर्न भएर कहाँ जान्छ त? यहाँ आएर चाहिँ बस्छ. यसले चाहिँ 6 will completely overlap this particular part. So this part is somewhat like print 6. So what it will print? It will print 6. So let's see. So for length, I'm writing 2, and for breadth, I'm writing 3. So our area is 6, and 6 it will return from here. It will return from here, and it will go to the main module from where it was called, and it is print area. So area LB is replaced with 6, and our answer is simply 6. Now, if you look at this particular output, there is no message given. So the best way to write our program is with message. So what we can write, the value that we are printing is the area of a rectangle. So we can write the, the area of a rectangle is area. Okay, now let me 4, 5. Suppose it is 4, 5, then our answer is 50. So the area is 50, 5 4 is 20. So 20 will be returned. It will go to our main module, and from there it will print the area of a rectangle is 20. So you can see over here, whatever the value is returned, it will replace this particular part. Okay, this area, this will be replaced. This will be replaced. Here there will be 20. As now, since this is print, it will first print the area of a rectangle is, then it will print the value, and the value is returned from the definition. So basically this is how function operates. That's all. Now all the formula programs that we have studied using sub procedure, we have to solve with function also, and everything will be solved in this way. We'll take input, we'll call through print keyword. In the definition part, we'll apply the formula and we'll return a value. That's all we'll be doing. Okay, now let me show you how we can solve this particular program using variable method. Okay, with variable method, let's see. Now I'll just make few changes over here only. Okay, so with variable method also, it's not that much difficult. Now you don't need to copy this variable method. Okay, it's not, if you want, you can write it down in your copy, but I don't think that is quite required. Okay, because most of the programs we will be doing using print keyword only. So with variable method also, there's a slight difference. That is, declare we have to write, CLS is also there, input is required. The only change is over here, that is in this part. Okay, calling part. Now for to call, we will not be using print, we will be using variable. Now just think what we are printing area, and area is a numeric value. Let me say this in Nepali. Okay, it is easier to understand in Nepali. अब हामीले प्रिन्ट के गर्दैछौँ त, एरियालाई प्रिन्ट गर्दैछौँ. एरिया भनेको के हो? नम्बर हो. नम्बरले हामी न्युमेरिक भ्यालु भनेर चाहिँ भन्छौँ क्युबेसिकमा. अब न्युमेरिक भ्यालु भएको भएर के हुन्छ त भन्दाखेरि, अब हामीले प्रिन्ट गर्न खोजेको न्युमेरिक भ्यालु भयो. जे भ्यालु हामीले प्रिन्ट गर्छौँ त्यही भ्यालु फंक्सनले रिटर्न गर्छ. यो लाइनलाई चाहिँ एकदमै याद गर्नुपर्छ है. जे भ्यालु हामी प्रिन्ट गर्छौँ त्यही भ्यालु फंक्सनले रिटर्न गर्छ. So we are printing a numeric value, so that's what will be returned from the function. त्यसैले अब यो भेरिएबल मेथडबाट के हुन्छ त भन्दाखेरि, हामीले भेरिएबल युज गरेर कल गर्ने हो, र जे रिटर्न आउँछ त्यो चाहिँ त्यो भेरिएबलमा स्टोर गर्ने हो, बस त्यति. यदि न्युमेरिक भ्यालु आउँछ भने न्युमेरिक भेरिएबल युज गरेर कल गर्नु पर्यो. यदि स्ट्रिङ भ्यालु रिटर्न हुँदैछ भने स्ट्रिङ भेरिएबल युज गरेर कल गर्नु पर्यो, बस यति हो. अब हेरौँ कसरी कल गर्ने. कल गर्नलाई सबसे पहिला के गर्नु पर्यो, भेरिएबल युज गर्नु पर्यो. अब यो त हामीलाई थाहा नै छ, न्युमेरिक भ्यालु आउँदैछ, त्यसैले न्युमेरिक भेरिएबल चाहियो. मैले ए युज गरेँ, ठिक छ, ल एआर युज गरेँ. एआर भन्ने भेरिएबल छ, त्यहाँ चाहिँ के हो, यो एआर भन्ने भेरिएबलमा चाहिँ फंक्सनले रिटर्न गरेको भ्यालु चाहिँ स्टोर गर्नलाई अब फंक्सनलाई कल गर्नु पर्यो. यो त हामीले पहिल्यैदेखि गरिआएको कुरा हो. कसरी गर्छौं त, AREA फंक्सनको नाम लेख्ने अनि आर्गुमेन्ट पास गरिदिने. आर्गुमेन्ट भनेको L, B. अब हेर है त, यो लाइनले के गर्यो त, फंक्सनलाई कल गर्यो. यो लाइनले के गर्यो त, फंक्सनलाई कल गर्यो. कसरी? भेरिएबल युज गरेर, र भेरिएबल के हो त, AR भनेको एउटा अझै स्पेसिफिकली जाने भने न्युमेरिक भेरिएबल हो. जसले चाहिँ यो फंक्सनले जे रिटर्न गर्छ त्यो चाहिँ स्टोर हुन्छ AR मा। अब यति गरिसकेपछि अब प्रिन्ट गर्नु पर्यो द एरिया अफ रेक्ट्याङ्गल। अब केमा छ त हाम्रो भ्यालु AR मा छ, किनकि अब रिटर्न भएर कहाँ आएर बस्यो त AR मा आएर बस्यो। बस यति हो चेन्ज गर्नुपर्ने। अब हाम्रो मेन डेफिनेसन पार्टमा गयो, डेफिनेसन पार्टमा एज इट इज सेम छ। अब यहाँ के हुन्छ त हेर्दै जाउँ। अब हेर है त, यहाँबाट लेन्थ र ब्रेथ उताबाट आउँछ, यहाँनिर यो फर्मुला एप्लाई हुन्छ, एरियामा स्टोर हुन्छ, एरिया पास हुन्छ। यहाँबाट पास भएको भ्याल्यु यो चाहिँ बुझ्नुपर्छ, यहाँबाट जे भ्याल्यु पास हुन्छ त्यो भ्याल्यु चाहिँ हाम्रो कहाँ गएर स्टोर हुन्छ त भन्दाखेरि ऊ यहाँनिर यसलाई रिप्लेस गर्छ। यसलाई रिप्लेस गर्नुको अर्थ के हो त AR मा स्टोर हुनु। बस यति यति चिज चाहिँ बुझ्नु पर्यो। उताबाट जे भ्याल्यु पास हुन्छ अब त्यो चाहिँ कहाँ आउँछ त यहाँ आएर बस्छ, किनकि यहाँबाट कल भएको अघि नै प्रिन्ट भएको ठाउँबाट कल भएको, तर यहाँ चाहिँ भेरिएबलबाट कल भएको। त्यसैले यो ठाउँलाई चाहिँ रिप्लेस केले गर्छ, जे भ्याल्यु रिटर्न हुन्छ त्यसले रिप्लेस गर्छ र त्यो भ्याल्यु अल्टिमेटली AR भन्ने भेरिएबलमा स्टोर हुन्छ र त्यही चिज चाहिँ हामीले यहाँबाट प्रिन्ट गर्दैछौँ। अब यसलाई रन गरेर हेरौँ। रन गरेँ मैले, ल 7 र 8 दिएँ मैले। 7 7 8 56, द एरिया अफ रेक्ट्याङ्गल इज 56। अब यो कसरी चलिरहेको छ त भन्दाखेरि पहिला इनपुट लियो, लेन्थ ब्रेथ 7 र 8 भयो। 7 8 यहाँबाट पास गर्यो, यहाँबाट पास गर्ने बित्तिकै हाम्रो कहाँ गयो त यहाँभित्र गयो, यहाँ 7 र 8 स्टोर हुने भयो। 7 8 56, 56 यहाँ स्टोर भयो। 56 यहाँबाट कल यहाँ रिटर्न गर्यो, रिटर्न गर्ने बित्तिकै फेरि ब्याक हाम्रो मेन मोड्युलमा जान्छ। मेन मोड्युल यहाँ छ हाम्रो। 56 भनेको यो पार्ट भनेको 56 ले रिप्लेस हुन्छ। अब यो भनेको के हो त AR इक्वल टु 56 जस्तो भयो। अनि यहाँबाट चाहिँ के प्रिन्ट गर्छ त द एरिया अफ रेक्ट्याङ्गल इज 56। सो दिस इज हाउ वी क्यान कल अ फंक्शन युजिङ भेरिएबल। अब यदि स्ट्रिङ रिटर्न गर्दैछ भने चाहिँ यहाँनिर के हुनु पर्यो त भन्दाखेरि स्ट्रिङ भेरिएबल। यस, फेरि एकचोटि वान मोर टाइम। Yes, yes. Somebody was saying something. All right. I don't think I have muted. You can speak. Yeah, somebody was trying to say something, but all of a sudden something went wrong, I guess. Okay. So this was the function procedure, and this is how it works. Now what I will see is we'll see one example for string variable as well. Okay. Now, if your audio is not working, you can even use the chat section, okay? So that I can know from the chat section as well. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to write one program, and the program is this one. Write a program to input first name and last name from the user and display the full name. Okay, this is the question. And this question also will be solving using function procedure. Now with function procedure, now we'll see, now there is a little bit of difference, okay? You will see a little bit of difference between the program that we just did and this particular program. Okay, as usual, we have to start with declare function. Now this program is all about first name, last name, it's all about name. So I'm just writing NME for name, okay? And what we need to do is we need to take two inputs. One is first name, another one is last name. For first name, I'm using F, for last name L. But these two variables are incorrect. किन इनकरेक्ट भयो त भन्दाखेरि फर्स्ट नेम र लास्ट नेम भनेको स्ट्रिङ भ्याल्यु हो र स्ट्रिङ भ्याल्युलाई स्टोर गर्न हामीलाई के चाहिन्छ त स्ट्रिङ भेरिएबल र स्ट्रिङ भेरिएबलमा भनेको जहिले पनि के हुन्छ त डलर साइन हुन्छ ओके यो चीज हामीले याद गर्नु पर्यो ओके नाउ वान मोर थिङ ओभर हियर नाउ dollar sign, is it required or not? If we are writing any program using function, then we always need to think about a dollar sign, okay? Whether we need to keep it or we need to ignore dollar sign. Here, declare function enemy dollar. Okay, declare function enemy dollar sign, whether it is required or not. Now this can be finalized by looking at our output. यसमा आउटपुट के हुन्छ त हाम्रो नेम हुन्छ हाम्रो के हुन्छ त फुल नेम चाहिँ हाम्रो आउटपुट हुन्छ अब फुल नेम आउटपुट हुन्छ भनेपछि फुल नेम भनेको कस्तो भ्यालु हो त यो न्यूमेरिक हो कि यो स्ट्रिङ भ्यालु हो त्यो चाहिँ हामीले पत्ता लगाउनु पर्यो अब पत्ता लगाउनु पर्ने केही छैन सिम्पल छ फुल नेम भनेको स्ट्रिङ भ्यालु हो त्यसैले यो प्रोग्रामको आउटपुट के हुन्छ त स्ट्रिङ भ्यालु हुने भएको भएर यो प्रोग्रामले के रिटर्न गर्छ त स्ट्रिङ भ्यालु नै रिटर्न गर्छ त्यसैले स्ट्रिङ भ्यालु रिटर्न गर्ने भएको भएर हामीले के राख्नुपर्छ डलर साइन राख्नुपर्छ यसरी चाहिँ हामीले पत्ता लगाउन सक्छौं whether a dollar sign is required or not. Since this particular program displays string value and string value is returned from this particular program, dollar sign is required over here. If we don't keep dollar sign, then this program will show error. Okay, this is how we can figure out whether a dollar sign is required or not. Okay, let's move into the other section now. CLS as usual, input. Now we need two things as an input. One is first name. For first name, we can write $, and last name. And for last name, we'll write $. Okay, first name and last name has been already taken. Now, the only thing that we need to do is we need to call the function procedure. And as usual, as earlier I said, we'll be using print keyword. So with print, what we'll do is we'll first write a message, and the message this time is going to be the full name, or we can write your full name. Your full name is. Now what we'll do is we'll call the name, we'll call our function, and it is enemy. Now since there is dollar sign, we have to write dollar sign over here as well. Then we write down the two arguments, and the arguments this time are $, and $. Okay, $, and $. So it is $, and $. Okay, so this is how we have to write down. Now you don't need to be confused over here because of this dollar sign. We are keeping dollar sign because our function is returning a string value, and string value is the value that we are trying to print through this program, because name is what we are trying to print, and name is a string value, and that's what this particular program returns. That's why dollar sign came over here. And this dollar sign over here, because our input is a string value, so we need string variables. That's why dollar sign is appearing over there. So let's move towards the definition part now. And here is our definition part. Function, let's just replace it with enemy $, $, first name, last name is $. Now what we need to do is we need to join the two names, $, and first name and last name. So our full name, so FULL, full dollar is equals to first name is $, and last name is $. So we have joined the two names, and the joined name will be stored in full $, and this is what we have to return. And in order to return, as usual, first write down the name of the function, then return the value FULL, full $. Now let's see the output quickly. First name Ram, and the second name THAPA, Ram Thapa. So the full name is Ram Thapa. Now you might say that this name is not looking that much appropriate. There is no space. Now in exam point of view, if this question is asked, then this is the program that you will write. Okay, that space, that spacing and everything, you don't need to worry. Now if you really want to have space, then you need to write program like this. Okay, now this space also we are adding, that is first name, add some space in between, then the last name. If you run Ram Thapa, you can see over here there's space, but this is not required. Okay, you don't need to do like this. So I'm just ignoring that particular spacing part, which is not required. So let's not confuse more. Okay, this is what you all should do. So what is happening right now is whatever the full name is, that is stored in this variable called full $, and enemy $. From here we are returning a value, and whatever value that has been returned is will replace this particular line, because from here it was called, and we see the full statement. Your full name is whatever name he gives, that full name will be displayed. Now if you suppose remove this dollar sign and try to run our program, it will show you error. Okay, here also suppose if you remove this and if you remove all these dollar signs, then if you try to run, type mismatch, this is what the error is. Now here the problem is we are returning a string value, but there is no dollar sign in our return type, so that's the mistake. So let me keep dollar sign everywhere. So this is basically how we have to write programs using function procedure. That is, if there is a string value that a program returns, then we write dollar sign, and this is how we return a value. That's all. That is all we need to do.
Thank you so much for watching. Please do like my video so that I get motivated to create more of these videos. We would appreciate if you would share this video with your friends. And if you have any queries and suggestions, let me know through the comment section. Lastly, please do subscribe my channel and press the bell icon so that you get notified every time I post a new video. Thank you.